Okay, so basically what I need from you is because you didn't have a lot of details. I got your schedule,
Okay.
which was very helpful, but I do know you have no gallbladder. You said that you used to be tired, but you're not anymore.
So after I had my third child, I was 43, and he had some type of something that wasn't fully developed that didn't allow him to digest properly. So he couldn't have anything except for breast milk. I tried to
Wow.
give him formula. Usually they do rice cereal or, start some type of solid food at 4 months or so. But no, not until he was 12 months. So
Wow.
it was like 11 and a half months. So it was, 2.5 hours around the clock nursing and no sleep for a year,
Wow.
which was really, really hard on my body. And I think my body just goes wacko anyway when I have children. I seem fine on the outside. I was doing Soul Cycle, Bikram yoga until I delivered with my daughter, which was my first child at 35. And then when I went in, I had huge gallstones, huge kidney stones. Well, I went in thinking I was in labor, but I got kidney stones. And they couldn't figure it out. It took a couple days because it was near Thanksgiving. They figured it out. They did an emergency stent surgery to help them go through. And then I delivered. And then 4 weeks after, I had my gallbladder removed. I asked for 2 opinions. They were like, you have to have it removed. It's too large. There's no other option. So I knew
Did they
none of this.
even know any other options though? No.
No. And I
That's
had,
what,
yeah, that was very, very frustrating because I was going to be the first water birth. No drugs, no nothing. Like I had it all planned out. And um, I was just in so much pain that I gave up after the second, person said, you need to have this done. So I said, fine. But I was not wanting to do it, not happy about it. But they said, you'll just have to come back in again, and you'll have to go through this again. So that's what happened.
do you know what the gallbladder does?
It helps to break down the fat, right? I mean, like process from the liver, which is pretty important to me, I
Why
think.
why would that be important?
So I can live a healthy, long life and,
Well,
basically be healthy and live the lifestyle I want. I
okay, well,
mean,
I'll explain more specifically. It helps
okay,
you break down fat with fat vitamins. So these are fat soluble vitamins.
okay,
It's vitamin D, E, A, and K, which a lot of people ping low without a gallbladder, because if you can't absorb the fat, then you're not absorbing those vitamins. And then people become mineral deficient. And the doctors don't explain that to you. They should do everything to try to save it before taking it out.
yeah,
There's a lot of different things that will help soften those stones.
mm-hmm.
You can have instant pain, and then eventually they will decrease, and then you poop them out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Okay.
that
Anywho,
happened, but then yeah. So I thought I was eating really, really healthy because I, I don't drink soda or eat chips and, processed. So that was with my daughter. I thought I was eating a well balanced diet, but I don't know what happened during the pregnancy. I thought I was exercising. And so those things happened during the time of pregnancy. So that's, yeah. And then with my son, my third child, I didn't think I was eating the best. I ate really well and exercised well with my second child, and he was the quickest, easiest, didn't have any issues after him. But the third, that had happened, and then my body just couldn't recover. So I thought, okay, now I'm going to get some sleep. I was sleeping 10, 11 hours a day, and I couldn't recover after 6, I just felt like I was gonna die, really. Like every morning I'd wake up, I would just, my bones felt like they were just gonna disintegrate, like my spine, like
Uh-huh.
I just, that's how I felt. And I just had to push through, and my brain was completely gone. I I didn't know. I was like, I can't drive the kids to school because I don't know if I ran a red light. I don't, this is after like 6, 7 months of sleep, of 11, 12 hours of sleep. And I was just like, I kept going to the doctor every 2 months. They kept saying, you're fine. You just need it to, it'll kick back in, kick back in. I'm like, I'm taking vitamins. I'm trying to do everything. And then finally, my brain, I guess I actually did do, that's when I found you, I think 4 or 5 years ago. And I did do the keto for, I think it was 8 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. And I was having to make everything from scratch because it was 2016. And I did it. And what happened for me during that time, I think I lost 10 pounds of the baby weight within a couple months. And then, but what happened is my brain woke up a little bit. Like I felt like this, just something happened. And then I was like, call your Chinese medicine doctor. So I went to him, and he says, oh, he gave me some herbs and some little pills for 10 days. And then by the third day, I could feel in my body that it was healing. Like, I don't know, it was just, I was like, well, why have I been going through this for so long? For over a year. And it was, yeah, I don't know, it was not fun. So, but yeah, so he put me on the road to recovery. It took maybe, I think, 6 months or so until I started to feel really more normal. And then slowly, I still don't feel 100%, but I feel 90% from that time in terms of where my brain was and how fast I was, just from a work perspective, because trying to jump back into work.
And this was 2016.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So obviously now I'm not sharp because I'm just not, haven't been. I've been working part-time since then. So just not full-time and not face-to-face with clients, really, where I'm engaging with clients. I'm just doing kind of the back end stuff. So,
Okay,
but I
so you
feel,
didn't switch to virtual. You just are doing back end stuff now.
yes, yeah. I was just kind of basically being my husband's assistant. We're both in real estate. So kind of just doing the back end work. I'll talk to people, but I noticed that if I look at a contract, or if I'm trying to do some math, I'm just not as quick as I was, or finding solutions very quickly. It's just not as sharp as I was before this last child.
Wow.
So I don't know if they take a little bit of your brain each child. I don't know if that's
No,
a
they just
myth or true.
deplete your body of everything. If you're trying to have vitamins and minerals and hormones trying to balance, and your adrenals trying to fire properly, then nothing does, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of work. And we're modern humans that never take a break. So if we were to live outside, yes, it'd be cold, there'd be or hot, there'd be elements, there'd be times of famine, but you could rest all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You have bills and the
Yeah.
tax man and all this complication going on.
Yeah.
That was the inverse. Um, so your body was just getting taxed, probably with a lot of nutrition and
Yeah.
hormone
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah. So
Um, okay.
so he gave me some balance, and then I go to acupuncture. Well, I normally, after the gallbladder was removed, um, that all happened, and then we came down to Mexico in 2012, 13, after my second child. I did a exam, I always do an annual exam at Kaiser. And then we came and we're here in Puerto Vallarta. We decided to stay 6-7 months. And then right before I was going to go back, I decided, hey, I just kind of want to check out the system here. So I got in a physical here. And they called me and they told me I had fatty liver disease and I had a tumor on my liver. It wasn't cancerous, but just, so I went back to the States. I was just very upset. I went to Kaiser, took the paperwork, and they said, yeah, you do. That's correct. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me this? Oh, well, your blood work was fine. So why would we test you for any of the rest? Oh, you're just going to wait till it's really bad. So I was really frustrated. They said, oh, change your diet. And I said, I'm already eating pretty healthy. I don't eat a lot. We were eating, so I would go back and forth from like vegetarian to paleo. And I said, I don't know what else to do. So then I just went strict paleo and started doing acupuncture for the liver regularly. Went back in the next year, no fatty liver, and the tumor shrank. So I've been doing that ever since, and it's pretty stable. There's no fatty liver. I'll get it tested every couple of years. So
Good.
yes, yeah. So
you had non-alcoholic fatty liver.
yes, mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So you've been doing on paleo. What type of carbs have you been eating?
Well, I have fallen off the wagon since COVID has happened, and yeah, I've been eating everything. I mean, everything to me is like rice once every 2 weeks, potatoes once every 2 weeks. What else do I? Pasta once every 2 weeks, maybe, and some pizza.
You?
Pizza. Okay, mommy's on the phone. Mom, I'm sorry. Can you please ask? Can you ask Daddy to feed you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Daddy feeds horrible things.
Okay.
He feeds stupid things.
Okay. We don't use the S word, please. Mommy's on a call. Okay. Can you please go get Daddy right now because Mommy's on a call? Come on. Not time to play. Please. Franz. Sorry, let me grab my husband and tell me he's in here. Hold on. Franz, I'm gonna call you.
So are you in Mexico right now, or are you in the States?
I'm
Are you
sorry,
in
what was that?
Are you in Mexico or in the States?
Right now I'm in Mexico. Yeah.
Okay.
So we came December to bring my mother-in-law. She lives here like 7-8 months, and my father-in-law passed last year, so this is her first holiday without him. So we
Brought her here.
Yeah, brought her to stay with her for 5-6 weeks, and then we'll go back mid-January.
Okay.
Mid-January.
Okay.
So the liver, the gallbladder, that's why I was a little hesitant to do the keto for a long period of time because I haven't done that much research on how, it affects. But I do know that when I do keto, my triglycerides go down, huge amounts. And so it's my, what's the test that they do for the diabetes? That goes down.
A1C, insulin.
Yeah, the A1C goes down because I guess of the triglycerides. So I said, well, I want to keep control of that because it runs in my family. As people get older, they usually become diabetic.
Right. So diabetes doesn't really run in the family. It's poor lifestyle and the genetic link that if you are more or if you're more sensitive to carbs because of
Yes.
genes, it's for that reason.
Hmm. So yeah, so I think everyone's more sensitive to. So I was told when I went to, and I don't have access to their stuff anymore because I'm not a member anymore, but there's this high-tech place called Forward. They did like a bunch of blood work on me and said that I don't process carbs very well. My body doesn't process carbs very well. And I had this one gene, I don't know.
It's called the MTHFR.
Okay. So,
I already know what you're talking about. Yeah.
okay. Okay. So yeah, so that's kind of my health thing. But
Okay.
yeah, I wanted to.
When
Do you have
you
any
say
questions?
I only do bread once a week, I do rice once a week, that means that at the end of the day, you're having this every week. Because if there's
Yes.
4 or 5 days you're having once a week, then
Yeah.
you're having them every week.
Yes, but not every
Obviously.
day. Like, yeah. Yes, every week.
But it's like
So
your
there.
memory is not clear. What did you have yesterday, for example, for real?
So yesterday I had lobster and asparagus and cactus for dinner.
What about the whole day?
For lunch, so then I eat like twice a day usually. So in the morning I'll get up and I'll have like Organifi's green, their little green smoothie or their green juice drink that's got like 10 different superfoods in it.
Like what?
Let's see. Yeah, let me go grab one. Let me grab one and I'll read it too. It's got like wheatgrass and here, let me just go grab one, make it easier.
Okay. Toxins. I'll tell you when you come. By the way, I have 2 cameras. That's why I'm looking.
So it's got organic wheatgrass, organic moringa, chlorella, spirulina, and matcha green tea. And then it's got some organic coconut, ashwagandha, turmeric in it.
Do you have this every day?
No, maybe 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how I feel in the morning. And then I'll have like a mushroom coffee from, what is the company? It's like an organic stigmatic coffee, organic mushroom coffee for breakfast. Since I've been here, and I usually eat around 10 or 11, but I'll get up at like 6.
Okay, let's do your whole day so I can puzzle it together. So you get up around 6,
Yes.
or is it 6 to 7?
Here I've been getting up, I guess our time about 5:30. I mean, it's 7:30 Mexico time, but 5:30 a.m. California time.
I need what time you get up, where you're
right
at.
now. Right, 7:30.
Okay, and then in California, what time do you wake up?
Between 6 and 6:30, because I let my body wake up.
Okay, and so why are you waking up at 7:30 here?
The sun, I think. It's when the sun gets up.
Okay.
It's
What time do you go to bed?
Here about 9:30, because I put the kids. It depends if it's the weekend, but when they'll start school again on the 5th. So they'll be in bed by 9. So that's when I go to bed.
So you could be in bed for 10, 11 hours?
Yes. But when I get up in the morning, or if I go to bed sometimes, I mean, when I go to bed, I'll read or listen to an audiobook and then go to sleep.
And how long will that take?
So it takes about 20 minutes to put them to bed, their routine, and then about maybe 20 minutes for myself.
So you go to bed closer to 10 or sleep at 10? Like when do you fall
Yeah,
asleep?
yeah, closer to 10 here.
Okay, so instead of 11 hours, it could be 10 hours. Or no, 10 hours, 8 hours. No, it could be 9 hours.
Yeah, I think about 9 hours sounds about right. So
Okay.
home is like 6.
Anybody who's in bed 9 hours is not sleeping deep enough.
Okay.
It's a long time. Okay.
I was also tracking my sleep, but I forgot my charger for my watch, but I also forgot, or I left it in Cupertino. We were in San Francisco and we left the Whoop. I don't know if you're familiar with the Whoop. It's a tracking device, and I purchased it. It's actually for like athletic use for people who I think are super athletic, but I purchased it for the sleep tracking. It tracks the HRV, and then I thought, okay, I'll get to my regular workout routine again of, Soul Cycle and yoga, and then I'll see, but that hasn't happened. So for the sleep tracking, I was getting an hour. When I started, I wasn't getting anything. It was horrible. But kind of on the average, I was getting about, I'd say, 7 hours of sleep, because it tells me how much actual sleep I'm getting versus
I'm
not.
just gonna rush you this part because
Okay.
because we have a lot to cover.
Okay, go. Sorry.
And like what I'm looking for is an hour and a half of deep sleep, REM sleep, and then we go to the next. So do you know how much deep sleep or REM sleep in minutes?
An hour. I don't know if I can look it up. I want to say an hour for maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
Of which sleep, deep or REM?
I don't think that they differentiate.
You have first. Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't think you're sleeping deep because you have these issues. When you sleep deep, you don't have issues.
Okay.
Then okay, so you're getting up between here in Mexico, you're at 7:30, but back home it's around 6:30. How long does it take you to get out of bed?
5 minutes. I mean, well, so I have a morning routine. So basically I just get up and then I'll do my prayer meditation.
Oh, that's right. You give me your schedule. So that would be, you said you meditate, prayer, then you have yoga 4 days per week. This is back home.
Yeah, here it's not. It's been.
So 7:30 to 9:30. Is that like? Do you homeschool?
Yes.
Okay.
We are.
And
been in that mode.
And then you said 9 to 2:30. You said building business systems. So what does that mean?
Work.
So you're just working those two. That's what you mean by that.
Yeah.
And then 2:30, you've got activities for kids from 2:30 to 5:30 back home?
Yes.
Is that still going with the Shabrona?
Yes. So basically I have to get them outside because if I don't, it'll be a nightmare. So even, with basically they'll do just drills of soccer outside.
You're not on camera anymore?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. And then, so we would play family basketball. Outside was
That's
making sure
cool.
basically that we were riding bike, like something, because
So these sport activities, it's family activities.
so when Corona started, yes, they were family activities for 3 months, and then we went back to the city, and they had outdoor drills for soccer, which was organized, um, and tennis and swimming. So outside.
Outside, and the kids could be done. They're done at 5:30 p.m. with their sports.
Yes.
Okay. Um, is there? You don't have a lunch. You just have breakfast and a dinner.
So I guess I have a brunch more so. I guess I don't really eat breakfast. So it's
So
more of a brunch.
what time is brunch?
10:30, 11, sometimes 1 o'clock, or sometimes, later.
And what do you have for your first meal typically?
Well, it's so that I have the green thing in the morning. I don't count that as a meal, but that's kind of the breakfast, I guess. Or I'll make once in a while, I'll make a smoothie or something. But for like a breakfast or a lunch, I'll have an avocado toast or just some eggs with some salsa, um, yogurt, um, a salad, kind of like a vinegary salad. Um, yesterday I had, was it like a salad, and the day before I had some like eggs with meat. Um, and then and then the day before I had like a croissant. So it's kind of mostly eggs with something, or like kind of like a salady thing is what
How
I'll
many
have for
eggs
like a
would you have in
breakfast.
one meal?
Um, one egg usually, or sometimes two if it's like a big meal.
Okay. And then no snacking in between?
I do. I'll have, not so much here, but at home I'll have almonds, nuts, basically. I have all different types of nuts, walnuts, like the little nut packets that they sell at Trader Joe's, um, individualized ones. And then I have, um, yeah, snack on those things. And then I'll snack on like the cheese. I don't know what they are, but it's like there's no low carbs in it. Um, those little, I don't know if they're like cheese chips at Trader Joe's. I don't know what they're.
Okay, and then when would you be getting snacky? Like around what times?
3, 4 o'clock, I think, when I'm basically en route, usually to go pick up Kingston. Because he's actually the only one that's in school, because he's in preschool. So he usually every day it's a drop off pickup for him. So I'll
And what
snack with
time
him.
is your dinner?
Dinner 6:30, but when Corona started, it was 5. But then it's back to. But normally it's 6 or 6:30, depending on the day and the sports.
And then what would you be having? Would you be having dinner as a family or would you have
Yeah.
okay.
So at home we have
So
dinner as a family every night. Here it's about 85% of the time, because people aren't hungry. It's different. We're not as hungry here. It's kind of weird. I think it's because of the warm weather. I don't know. And so it's more of like a bigger meal around 3 o'clock here. I feel like the dinner feels like, because then when we have dinner you know, again, if we try and have dinner again at like 6:30, people are not really hungry. So it's really small.
And then, okay, so how long are you going to be in Mexico for?
Until the 15th of January. So a few
And
more
then you go
weeks.
back home for like months and months.
Yes. Yeah.
Wh-
Then we'll be
What
home.
part of California are you from?
San Francisco.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said the city. Okay, the Bay Area. Okay. Um,
So then it'll be 6:30 and he'll be going to school every day again, my preschooler.
the school's
And then the
open.
other, yes, preschool's always been open the entire time because essential workers and I don't know, preschool is just different. And we
Not
meet
here in LA. That's weird. Okay.
really, yeah. So well, actually, the first 3 months it wasn't. They did the Zoom, but then it opened up August, I think it was
Okay.
after summer. Yeah,
Okay. So then, how old is your oldest child
13,
and the youngest?
4,
Was your pregnancy normal? You had your pregnancy at like
35,
40,
35,
45
35, 39, and 43. I think.
ish.
Yeah, 43. I think I got pregnant. Yeah, I think it
Normal
was 43.
pregnancy?
No. Yeah, or he was a normal. I thought you said no more pregnancy. Yeah.
No,
Yes,
normal vaginal birth, no problem. No
all
gestational
three.
delivery, no birds, no nothing.
No, all three normal vaginal.
That's amazing. So what about your menstrual cycle? Are you having a normal cycle now?
Yes, it has been pretty normal. Um, it's, I mean, I'm having, I never had cramps before, but I feel like the last few years I definitely have more PMS. I was never really PMSy. I'm definitely PMSy and crampy. That is new for me, um, like my entire life. But I am having my cycles. They do seem just really 1 day of or 1.5 day of heavy flow, and the rest are really light. So before it would be like 3 days of heavy flow, sort of, you know, it felt more. But I'm still
So it's getting a
5 days.
little lower progesterone probably.
Yeah.
Um, then how many days do you bleed?
5, I mean, the whole thing is about 5 days.
And then is it a 28 cycle, 28 day or less or
Yeah.
more?
That is changing. It's kind of back and forth. It's really weird. This last 2 or 3 cycles, one was 23 days, and then the next one was 28 days. So
Yeah,
it
it's getting a
kind of,
little wonky right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Okay. And for dinner, would it be the same as your brunch, which you said smoothies, avocado, toast, yogurt, or would you be having like we're having meat and rice or potatoes as a family?
Yes, as a family. So I try to do low carb half the week and have the family have low carb. Here it's just been they just too much food. But for me, even when I'm ordering, I won't eat the rice. Um, you know, like because they have rice or potato or pasta every meal. I won't eat everything that they're eating. But
And
yeah,
what would
there's
dictate you to
definitely
eat it? Because you said you would eat it here and there. So what would dictate you then breaking down and having it?
um just so for the week I just mentally like I cannot eat that every day. So I'll say, oh, I allow myself a few days, you know, a week to eat like that.
Okay.
It's just something I've set in my mind being here. Um,
And then let's see here. You gave me a good full schedule. Your dinner Am I tripping? You said 5:30 to 9 p.m. when you filled this out.
Oh, that's the whole
Or is that homework?
process. Like there's start cooking dinner, have dinner, then after dinner, clean up, the nighttime routine, homework, putting the kids to bed, and then basically lights out, sleep.
Okay. And
Story
are you
time,
working
prayer.
out yourself?
What was that?
Are you working out yourself?
So I was working out. I joined back to the gym and was working out 4 days a week, and then Corona happened. And then was just trying to do the family basketball and going, on walks. Um, and then I would get a couple days of yoga in during that time. And here I did go on my first real run because I haven't run in 7 years. I did I've done a couple runs here, yoga a few times. So nothing is consistent. It just kind of depends on what schedule for the day they want to go on an adventure,
And if you were to like run, what time would that be?
in the morning early. Like here, I think I went 7:30 in the morning.
Okay, and then
Right
how
when
long did
I
you run
woke
for?
up. 40 minutes. I track. So
Do you see you get tired in the afternoon or no?
um I don't really, I've never been a nap taker, and my energy, I mean, from compared to before, I feel is it's more so, I think it's kind of around my cycle time that I feel more like exhausted and tired. But yeah, I'm not really, I just don't feel like I did before my last child.
You
But I
in
would
your
say,
voice, you sound a little tired in your voice. I'm not
oh,
gonna
well,
lie.
yeah, because yesterday was my birthday.
Oh,
And I
happy
don't,
birthday.
thank you. I don't drink normally. I mean, I really don't drink a lot. And I had birthday celebration all day yesterday. So we went for breakfast, and um, they gave me a mimosa and a little, you know, birthday cake thing. And then for dinner, they gave me a free champagne, and then I had wine at dinner. So yeah, I'm feeling a little bit. I went swimming yesterday. I just had a long, adventurous day yesterday. But yeah, I normally don't have alcohol. So yeah, I woke up this morning. I'm like, I'm kind of tired. I can feel it in my body. I'm tired today. But that's,
Okay.
I think,
got
the alcohol.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. And then why have you not been more consistent with your workouts?
Um, so I have been really focused, I think, since Corona started on really sticking to my prayer and meditation um, in the morning, no matter what. And then the workout is like right behind that. And so it's just not enough time because I'll allot myself, an hour, and then I stay too long, I think. Well, I've been staying too long with the prayer, meditation, and journaling. And
So
so
when the kids are doing a sport activity, then why not? Are
mhm,
you?
I'm working basically when they're doing that time. And yeah, so when the other two are home, um, my third grader needs a lot of help. So I'm like back and forth with him. So it's making my work less productive. So when I do go to their sports, I'm like basically on my phone trying to work or finish up
Yeah,
what.
gotcha. Okay. What about your digestion? Do you ever have bloat, gas,
Yes, a lot,
constipation?
a lot. So that was one of the other things I've been going recently to try to deal with. I don't know if it's the hormones, I think, but the constipation has been for, I want to say, over a year, 2 years, where I have now hemorrhoids.
Oh, wow.
Because it's stuck or something. It's not coming out. Like I just feel the hemorrhoid. Like, but then after I have a bowel movement, the hemorrhoid is gone. You know.
So you got some serious constipation.
Yeah, but what I do notice is that when I eat bad, or when I say bad, when I have more carbs, and like if I have alcohol, then I will go to a nice bathroom, have a nice bowel movement. So I was like, well, it's just, am I not eating enough, or eating right, or having the vitamins? I'll take.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not getting enough minerals because you're not taking minerals, are you?
What am I taking? So I take a digestive enzyme. But
How long have you done that for?
Let's see, 5 years, basically.
You're only supposed to take them for one bottle, which is a month, maybe
Okay.
3 months max.
Okay.
Your body's having a hard time making its own enzymes now because it's been dependent on these pills.
Okay. So you're only, but even without the gallbladder, you're not supposed to take the.
You said digestive enzymes. Is it enzymes or is it bile salts?
Well, it's what I was advised to take. It's the now. I think it's digestive enzymes. Yeah.
If you have a no gallbladder, you need oxbile. That's what you need,
Okay.
and you need lipase
Okay.
specifically.
Okay.
But do you even have any more of that bottle with you in Mexico?
Yeah. I have it somewhere. Not in here. Let me go grab it.
Okay. You might have chronic constipation due to lack of magnesium. Or a combination of your missing gallbladder. I'm such a dork. I like the painting in the background. It's really cool. And the sliding glass doors to the room. Hey, child, get your butt back. Oh. There we go.
Sorry. I threw it away because it was too big of a bottle, and I put it in my toothpaste bottle, so I don't have that one. But I thought It did, but I also take B vitamin or B active and this one.
I don't even know
And
what that
then
is.
it's Triphala.
What's the active ingredient? What's it for?
Let's see, detoxification and rejuvenation.
So you got to remember, all supplements are concentrated of that particular whatever it is, and it's like kind of like a lot for the body to take if you constantly use them.
Yeah.
So you want to
so
try to get you want to try to get most of your nutrients from food. And these herbs are just, if you went to an herbalist, like a Chinese medicine, that should be done just like maybe 3 months max.
Yeah, so they only give it like when I go to them, they give 10-day max. Like normally
Exactly.
they don't want to see. But this is from the homeopathic doctor. Like, so I have I was going to the Institute for Health and Healing.
Okay, and I'm just trying to rush this along because time goes. We got to get through your diet. Get to your diet. We're just still in the.
Let's go.
We're still in the consultation. I mean, of the what does your day look like?
Okay.
I'll say like this. You really should not be on a lot of supplements. The main one you should be taking is magnesium, and that is because our soil is depleted of it. So if you do a low carb diet in any form, the reason why you feel better is that your glycogen storages replete. So they come back in, those glycogen storages. Your water enters this cell. You're able to hold on to your minerals better on carbs, but they have their downfall. And that's why people can sleep better. They like don't have muscle cramps. They're not chronically dehydrated. They can poop better, all on carbs. You're doing paleo, which is low carb. And I'm sure that you're not in ketosis. So if you drop your carbs, you have to up your fat, which you didn't mention in your description of eating food. So you are in a chronic fatigue zone, which is not good. That your body either has to run on carbs and sugars or ketones. It's not running on ketones. And then you're not eating a lot of carbs. So it puts a lot of pressure on the adrenal glands. So you got to be careful for that. And back to my notes over here.
So the enzyme, really quickly, the enzymes formulated with bromelain, ox bile, pancream, papain.
Pepsin?
So that's what I take. It's the super enzyme by now.
No, you need to take enzymes for up to 3 months and stop. If you want the ox bile, you have to get it separately.
Okay, so the ox bile was in that formula.
I know. Along with you have to get it separately, so it's not in a cocktail. You have to get ox bile alone. And have you ever tried to up your fat to see how you react, even with that digestive enzyme cocktail?
No. Just the one time I did it and I felt better, but I was like, I cannot maintain this much time of prepping and eating.
Okay, so do you want to do keto or do you want to do low carb, high fat?
I'm not sure what the difference is.
Low carb, high fat is your body still dependent on carbs.
Okay.
So it's not keto. You don't depend on ketones, ketogenesis, nothing. Okay. It's just not high carbs. So if you were to have rice, it would be a measured small amount throughout the day. And you wouldn't have any sugars, and your fats would have to creep up higher than what they are now, but not as high as keto.
Okay. And then what is the benefit of keto over low carb?
The benefits are people who have difficulties balancing their blood sugar, or have, negative effects with higher levels of blood sugar, like with cysts or your menstrual cycle. People prefer to use, or energy or sleep or healing.
Mm.
Ketogenesis is when your body does not rely on carbs to stabilize its everything. Because if you were to live outside in nature as a hunter-gatherer, you would barely get any carbs in every day. You just barely would. So the fact that we can now is that all of our fruit and all of our vegetables have been, except for, I think it's just asparagus, but everything's been genetically altered, modified, selectively bred, hybridized, and it has too much fructose in it or too many anti-nutrients in them. And that's why some people don't do well on plants that well. And of course, not on processed foods. So that's why people choose to run on ketones, because you cut out all that plant junk, and then the body runs on a lot of fat. Then, I mean, I don't have anybody on strict carnivore anymore. I try to keep them on like a little bit of carbs, but mostly meat and meat fats, but put them in a state of ketosis to heal the gut wall. And low carb is still eating carbs. So that could be rice. That could be more sweet vegetables like summer squash or carrots and berries and shit like that.
Okay. So I think I want to do the keto and see how I do on that. And then if that doesn't
The problem
work,
is with doing a keto diet, you have no gallbladder. Now, a lot of people can do a ketogenic diet with no gallbladder, and the body, everybody's body is different. Some people who have no gallbladder, the body will find another place to store those bile salts. And then they don't even feel any stress when they eat high fat. But that's rare. Most people feel like crap. And so if you have the gallbladder removed, then the problem is that you eat fat, and in the small intestine, there's no salts released to break down fat so you can use it. So just like the fat gets stuck, and that's when you get right side pain, middle of the stomach pain, nausea. Some people get shoulder blade pain. They get constipated, like all of these things.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't had that in a while. I used to get the right side pain, and I would say, this, you know, my gallbladder was removed. Why am I having this pain? No, the gallbladder's on the side, but I'm like, why am I having this pain in my side? But
because you're always going to have pain without a gallbladder. If you still had your gallbladder, you could fix it and then you would have no pain. Without a gallbladder, you always are suspect to have pain, and they don't tell you this. But the thing is, you are growing cysts. You are cyst to potential cancer factory. That's why keto makes more sense with you.
Okay.
But I mean, and you, first of all, take that green drink and burn it.
Okay.
That's destroying your health. And I'll explain why.
Okay.
So, yeah, all plants have poison. And people are like, no. And I'm like, yeah. All plants have poison because they don't have teeth or claws, and they want to survive as much as we do.
Yeah.
So they produce certain chemicals within the plant structure to protect them from insects, predators, a bunch of stuff. And if you look back at our hunter-gatherers, they would take plants and prepare them by soaking it, trying to soak out the plant pesticide, you know, the internal pesticide. They would soak it, they would prepare, they would do all these types of preparation to not get inundated with the chemicals coming from plants, because insects really destroy crops when they're about to die, like when they're matured, because that's when you have less poison. Baby plants are always going to have the most protective agents in it. And therefore, it sounds like you've developed a thing called leaky gut because you've developed constipation. Do you bloat sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah. And on the paper that you filled out, you said you had no gut issues that you were aware of, I think. And a lot of people think that they're because they feel better, they think they don't have issues, but you definitely have sleep issues because you can't form problems. And do you know what your body fat percentage is?
It's very high. That's always like I've been going to the thing. My body fat is so high now. Normally, before kids, I was very thin, but with the kids, I was about 138 after the two kids. But this last child, I am 158.
Yeah, so there's something
It's
going
like,
on. It might be your thyroid gland took a hit,
yeah,
and
my
thyroid,
metabolism is not working.
yeah,
Feels
and
like, yeah,
that's the thyroid is connected to your metabolism,
yeah.
and sleep is connected to your body fat. So that's why I don't believe you're sleeping deep. Not
Okay.
every single night. You can become insulin resistant in a night of not deep enough sleep.
Yeah,
And when the insulin's not doing its job, then you tend to store
yeah.
more fat. And the
I
fat
think,
cells become lazy, and the fat cells start to develop
mhm,
estrone, which is
mhm,
estrogen dominant. And that allows your cells to divide and make more fat cells. So you become a fat storing machine.
yes,
And the
that's
more
exactly.
estrogen you have, and then your liver is bogged down. So your liver enzymes are high. And so what that means is that you're collecting a lot of estrogen in the body. And everything you do from this juncture has to calm those adrenals down, so you don't collect as much estrogen in the liver. And then we've got to get on a pooping protocol because estrogen cannot be pooped out in your body. And constipation means you're seriously not getting stuff out. Have you
Yeah.
tried magnesium citrate?
Yeah, I mean, I purchased it. I didn't bring that with me though.
Are you using
So,
it? To me,
no,
there's a difference
I
between
didn't,
purchasing and using.
yeah, yeah, I didn't bring it with me
Okay, so
here.
these
Yeah.
are some,
So,
that's the reason why we're doing this recorded, is so you can get exactly what you need to do.
mhm,
And it's recorded, so
yeah,
it's all going to be
yeah.
here. But you need, okay, first of all, we're going to get rid of the green drink because that's loaded in certain plant chemicals, like wheatgrass is
Okay.
the worst.
Okay.
And chlorella and spirulina aren't as bad, but we don't even know what source of algae this is from, and that concerns me. You have to get a high quality chlorella or spirulina, and right now with your gut issues, plants are not really your friend. Ashwagandha is another oxalate. It helps to make kidney stones, liver lesions, and gallbladder stones. Ashwagandha.
Okay.
And it's a nightshade, which is bad for the thyroid. And I'm having a concern about your thyroid.
Okay.
And, you go to an herbalist and they're like, do this, do that, but they're not thinking about a broken woman. So when you have
Right.
certain problems with your metabolism or gut wall or gallbladder, you just
Mhm.
can't take anything willy-nilly. You have to go, okay, can my body tolerate this? Have I developed any secondary issues with,
Yeah.
you are very easy to grow stones and cysts. Like they're all throughout your biliary system, which is the liver, your kidney, and your gallbladder. You just grow them very easy. And we have to go, well, what grows cysts? Well, plants, high sugars, stress, poor sleep, chemicals, toxins, amalgam fillings, anything that's toxic will clog up the liver. And when the liver's clogged, everything else gets clogged. And that's why you develop stones in the gallbladder. Also,
Okay.
not exercising enough will help stones collect in the organs, especially gallbladder, but you don't have it anymore. But still, that the pipes throughout those organs get a little
Mhm.
clogged. Um, no more green drink. I don't trust your
Okay.
body. I'm almost going to put you on
Okay.
quasi carnivore. Do you get what foods bloat you?
Carbs.
Okay, well, all plants are carbs. So, do you bloat
Carbs and
on?
sugars. Like if
Do you bloat
if
on?
I eat a pasta, I mean if I eat definitely if I'm, eating bread or pasta
Yeah, you
or
bloat.
any
And
of
I'm
that.
just going
No.
fast now because we're going over the
Yeah.
hour. And I
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
if I don't start pushing you to rush, we'll be
Mhm.
going in an hour and a half. And
Okay.
I'm like, I
Okay.
gotta be somewhere.
Okay.
So, um, okay. Let me think here. Does your stool, when you do poop, is it float or sink?
So it's inconsistent. Sometimes it sinks and sometimes it floats. And most of the time it sinks, but it's been like broken up into little
Okay, I got
balls.
you. I got you.
Um,
And that's the constipation too.
yeah.
We need magnesium stacked like now.
Okay.
Your magnesium,
Okay.
you've been doing low carb for too long and you're hemorrhaging your minerals.
Okay.
You must take magnesium glycinate. Make sure you don't react.
Okay.
Some people react to it. And then if
Okay.
they did, they would take malate instead, which is MLATE, but we would take glycinate, which is GLYCINAT. So this is on video.
Okay.
You want to take 400 grams of magnesium glycinate at night, and you want to start taking 200 grams of magnesium citrate a night at night. It'll help you produce stool in the morning.
Okay.
So the
All right,
goal isn't
good.
to being on all these forever. At some point, we want to get your peristalsis to start moving, and you don't need to take 600 total of magnesium.
Okay.
Also, your valve, it's called the ileosacral valve, might be open. And when that valve between the stomach and the small intestine is open,
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, the muscles don't contract to poop out. It could also be because of your thyroid. Has your hair been like shedding when you're stressed out or?
Yep, it does that. And I notice when I go to acupuncture, it's less, I guess because I'm less stressed out. But yeah, definitely when I'm
Yeah,
stressed, it sheds.
I'm pretty sure you have a couple of issues. You've got thyroid, hypothyroidism,
Mhm.
and you would have to
Okay.
take a full thyroid panel 2 to 3 times, 6
Yes.
weeks apart to really
Mhm.
have a true diagnosis, because one test is subjective, because the test doesn't, it only shows what's in the blood. It doesn't
Right.
show if that thyroid hormone is actually getting into the cells to be used. They can't see that. And so
Right.
a lot of doctors will look at the blood and they're like, oh my God, you've got enough blood values, you're fine, bye-bye. And
Right.
then you still have this symptomology, which means they can't see what's in the cell.
Mhm.
Which then if you did several tests a few times, you could start to see the consistency and make your assessment based on that and your symptomology. But to me, hypothyroidism, because you've got 2 out of the 3 major issues with just constipation and your hair thinning under stressful situations. You're also eating a paleo diet with not enough carbs, which will also stress out your thyroid. Again, you need to either be eating carbs, or you need to be consistently, or you need to be eating fat consistently. And we're in a
Okay.
quagmire, because I know that once we up your fat, you're going to have a gallbladder reaction. Now, your body can learn how to store those bile salts somewhere else, but you have to train it to do that.
Okay. Okay.
And that's by slowly upping your fat. So we can't start full keto. I just don't think you'd get nauseous and sick and feel like crap, because the amount of 12 tablespoons of fat is the minimum you would add.
Okay.
Okay, no gallbladder, 12 tablespoons of fat. So we're going to get you up, and I want to have you in Mexico start getting up closer, 7 max, but really that 6:30 time would be better for your circadian rhythm. I don't
Mhm.
care if the sun comes up at 7:30. I need you to go to bed a little bit earlier
Okay.
and try to get 8 hours and not ever have it go to 10.
Mhm.
And that's by, creating a better schedule and creating more rested sleep in a shorter amount of time, 8 hours rather than 9 or 10. Do you ever bloat on avocado?
I don't think so. I love avocado.
You need to test
I
it.
eat.
So
Okay.
you've got leaky gut for sure.
Mhm.
And that's holes in the gut wall. Your small intestinal
Yeah.
wall should be
Mhm.
tight. Yours is a bit open.
Okay.
And that creates autoimmunity. Sounds like you've had leaky gut for a very
Yeah.
long time, but didn't know it. You could have a candida overgrowth. You could have a couple things that could paralyze peristalsis to where nothing comes out. Do you take anything to poop, or you just wait for a bowel movement?
Yeah, no, I don't take anything. I don't really like to take anything unless I've gone to my Chinese doctor
Well, your Chinese
um,
doctor, I'm sorry, doesn't
or
know
yeah,
everything. So
yeah, no, or the other doctor. I unless they prescribed it, I don't take
I would
anything over the
question
counter.
them. I wouldn't believe anyone, not even me, but you just go by what's logical.
Yeah.
Like, you really shouldn't be on a digestive enzyme for 5 years. Even without a gallbladder, you can train your liver to start
Okay.
storing that salt somewhere else.
Okay.
And the goal is to not be on any supplements except
Yes,
magnesium.
I would love that.
Okay, cool. The 2 times a day eating with low carb is destroying your thyroid.
Okay.
Food is gasoline. And if you're going to run around and do stuff and this and that, blah, 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 and have no gasoline in the tank, the body will start to eat itself and to get the energy. It'll eat proteins, convert it into sugar. You've got to eat, unfortunately, a third meal with snacks for now.
Okay.
Like if you got a
Okay.
glucometer, you'd be like, oh my God, she's right. Because if you tested your blood sugar throughout the day, you'll
Yeah.
see it's going to be all over the place and not
Okay.
stable.
So, I need to get one of those things.
And I'm going to go real fast because I
Yeah. Can you
literally
just
gotta
tell
go
me where
soon.
to get it and how? I did.
Amazon. So it's
okay.
Amazon.
Which one?
And it's called a Mojo, Mojo.
Okay.
And you need to order, it comes with the ketone strips, but we need the
Okay.
glucose strips, and you can order Mojo glucose strips separately. And then there are many YouTube tutorials on how to check your blood sugar.
Okay.
And that's really advantageous. So the numbers that you want to look for are going to be between 69. Well, now that's too low. Let's just say about 73 to about 83 is when you're ketotic. Okay. And you need ketones between a 1.8 and a 3.0. Doesn't matter. You won't remember these numbers right now. You have to listen back again. But
and write them down.
if you're in those ranges of 73 to 83 and a 1.8 to 3.0 of ketone, sweet spot is like in the middle between ketones. So that'd be a 2.5 or a 2.0-ish. And then with glucose, it would be like a 77 would be a mid sweet spot range. If you're not in any of those numbered ranges and your blood sugars, and you're not, let's say we cut out all the carbs, there's no rice, there's nothing, there's no cheating, there's just keto diet, high fat. And you notice that your blood sugar is like late 80s, 90s, 100s, that's just stress. That's why it has to be in that tight range. And ketones have to be made. So you'll see the less fat you eat, the less ketones you make. The more fat that you eat, the more ketones that you make. But you're hitting that quagmire because you have a gallbladder problem. And that's why everything has to be teeter-tottered and balanced out like every day. So you're going to be your own N=1 experiment, and you're going to have to go, I can up my fat. Nope, got to lower it because that's too much. Right. And you need to get ox bile. I would take the ox bile alone. Okay. It's going to be a higher dosage. We start adding more fat. And, when it's in a cocktail mixture, it's going to be a lower dose. And I would get lipase, which is specifically to lipase is for lipids, which means fat, to break down fat. And I would take under the recommended dose at first. You don't get heartburn. I would take under the recommended dose halfway or quarter of the way through a meal every time you're having fat. And get off those other digestive enzymes and allow your body to start making the other things like pepsin, and your pancreas is not making these darn enzymes anymore because it's relying on the pill to come. And the pill's never going to be as good as your body, as Mother Nature or God. Now, you're going to get up, you're going to eat around 30 minutes after you wake up. Even if it's something really small, if you don't have time and the first thing you do is work out, then you got to get up and work out. And we're going to do this every day. And we'll start off baby steps. We'll start off with a 15-minute workout every day. Once you hit 45, you can break it down to just 5 days a week when you can maximize 45-minute workout. But for now, we do 15. Then maybe in a month or in a month and a half, you go up to 20. And then we go up to 30. We sit at 30 for a while, like 6 months. Then we go up to 45 to an hour. But 15 minutes, and you can do that. You're going to get up and you're going to do a 15-minute workout. We're not working out to build muscle or drop a single body fat percentage. We're trying to draw a lot of oxygenated, rich blood to the muscle cells. This helps with everything. Your immune system, it helps with ketone production. So it's I want you to do a full body circuit. We're not doing split routine. We're not doing any of that stuff. We're just doing you're going to hit the biceps, chest, back, triceps, glutes, quads, hams, calves. And you could do shoulder presses for your shoulder, lateral raises where you move your arm out to the sides. You can do bicep curls, overhead tricep extensions behind your body with dumbbell weights or bands. You can do wall push-ups for the chest if you can't do them on the floor. Standing wall push-ups. You can do chair squats where you just tap your butt on the end of a chair and stand up and do 3 sets of 20. And a few, I would say just like 40 ab crunches done. That's something you could do each day. I would get a rebounder for your lymphatic system. So I would get up, get one of those little jumping mini trampoline things, the rebounders.
Yeah.
And I would do that for your lymphatic system to get fluid moving for like 2 minutes when you wake up.
Okay.
And that will help get the blood flow, and then do a 15-minute workout, and then goes your day. You're going to have dinner or breakfast, sorry. And the breakfast is once we get up, what's your smoothies made out of?
Spinach, protein powder.
Okay, this garbage. So spinach is just pure poison. It is exactly what gives people kidney stones.
What was that? Sorry.
Hold on one sec. Hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, sorry, I had a stupid phone call. Okay. Spinach have oxalates. Oxalates are if you look at them under a microscope, so you must Google oxalate crystals.
Okay.
They're like shards of glass, and they get caught in your kidneys. They 100% make kidney stones.
Okay.
And they can give you liver lesions. They're like, how long have you been drinking spinach smoothies?
I mean, years. I mean, you know, if I make a smoothie,
that's
I'll
how you started developing.
This is
what started making problems with your gallbladder, your liver, and your kidneys. Is this smoothies?
Okay.
Crazy, right?
Yes, supposed to be healthy.
They're not healthy. That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's vegan dogma. Veganism is like the most dangerous thing to ever do to anybody's body. They're deficient in B12. They're deficient in vitamin D. They're deficient in so many things. Also, you don't need to take a B complex supplement. You could just eat liver. Eat an ounce a day. It's like a multivitamin. It's got zinc, copper for your thyroid. It's got vitamin D for your thyroid. It's got vitamin C for your thyroid, and it's got iron. And it has it's got the full B complex: B1, B12, B9, B1, B6, B9, and B12.
Does it matter what type of liver?
I mean, cow liver is the best, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's chicken or it's just liver.
Okay. And
this is going to help you with your deficiencies, because without a gallbladder, you're very deficient.
Okay.
Then, okay, you're going to eat a breakfast. So right after your workout, you're going to eat a breakfast, and it's going to be real food, not this quick stuff like smoothies and elixirs and all this. You know, and it's going to be, I don't trust eggs with you. Just do a test to see if you get bloated. Eat a bunch of eggs one day. If you get bloated at all, you're not doing whole eggs. You're doing egg yolks, like fried yolks. They're really good, or boiled or fried yolks.
Okay.
And then you could do 2 to 3 ounces, which is about 3 fingers worth of protein with the thickness of the palm of your hand, worth of protein measured cooked for breakfast. And I want you to put 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter or lard or beef tallow on that plate. You're also going to have 1/3 cup of rice. Yeah, we're starting off with carbs, with rice. And then mid-morning, we're going to have, I would say 1 yolk and 1 tablespoon of butter. Mid-morning can be between 8:30 and 9:30. Then you're going to have a lunch, and none of this is to feed you. It's just keep your blood sugar stable. Lunch is also about 3 ounces, 3 to 3.5 ounces of any fatty protein. And then you're going to have, you can have vegetables in one meal a day. So that's the cruciferous type, which is the broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, asparagus,
Right.
no kale, no spinach. Salads are going to be once a week, and it would be like arugula and lettuce. You're not going to have any spinach.
Okay.
Then avocado at lunch, half of an avocado. But I also want you to do an avocado check. So you're going to do, one day you're going to eat 2 full avocados and wait to see if you get bloated or itchy or headachy or anything.
Yeah.
So we're going to do 1 avocado a day for the potassium. It's very, very, very high in potassium. And you can do half for lunch, half for dinner. Lunch is what you're going to have for dinner. So it's any fatty meat by 3 to 3.5 ounces. It's going to be the other half of the avocado. Except we don't want vegetables. We only want vegetables because avocados are fruit. But we don't want any vegetables for dinner. We just want it at lunchtime. Because if you have any histamine reaction, any mild allergen, it won't affect your sleep because you're having it at lunch. And then for dinner, and that's 1/3 cup for lunch of rice and 1/3 cup for dinner of rice. And then after 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to lower it to 1/4 cup of rice, which is a lot less. And then after a month, we're going to go cold turkey into keto and give your gallbladder a break. So once we go full turkey to keto, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is going to be 3 tablespoons of fat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. With 1 tablespoon of fat mid-morning and 1 tablespoon in the afternoon. So I also want you to start making meat broth. You just take like the leaner cut of let's say the leg of any red meat, pig, cow, whatever. And it's got a lot of potassium in it. You would cook it under the boiling point, like a simmer for 2 hours, add mild herbs. I don't trust you with herbs. So you do some Italian herbs, very minimal, no pepper, no bell peppers for you, no sweet potatoes, no tomatoes. All of these things mess with your thyroid and you're showing thyroid symptoms. No pepper, no sweet potato, and no dark chocolate. All of them are messing with the gallbladder, I mean the thyroid. No tomatoes. Tomatoes are the absolute worst for the thyroid. And then no cheating on wheat. I think wheat is what's also creating a lot of health problems for you. I think you're super wheat intolerant, even if you have it here and there. It's just every time you have like massive fire raging in the body because of the heartburn. So no. And though your body's giving you telltale signs. So it doesn't matter if you do it once a month or once a year, your body doesn't like it. And it can set you back days if you get too much of a firestorm in the body from trying to heal. And sometimes the pendulum just doesn't move, right? It just stays because each week you have 1 or 2 or 3 things that your body doesn't like.
Right.
So you got to be a purist for the next month.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 tablespoons of fat in each meal with the digestive aids, with the ox bile and the lipase. And then after a month, go off the lipase and then stay on the ox bile probably for 6 months.
Okay.
And then you want to try to go off and see what happens. Taper off slowly, like into the 4th month or 5th month. Take it down and see what happens. Do you have any questions? Because I got a jam.
No. You're very thorough.
Does that sound good?
So yeah. And then I'll go back to watch and get all the details.
Yeah, I don't mean to go fast, but like every consultation I go over and then collectively throughout the day, I'm always late. So.
Okay, so my only question is, do I schedule a follow-up after I go into the full keto?
Well, here's the thing. I'm moving out of California because it's the Titanic. I'm sorry you still live there. I'm not putting up with this garbage anymore. So I'm moving to Texas temporarily, and then I'm going to buy a house in Georgia, in the mountains, away from a lot of people.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, honey. I'm not living with muzzles. I have a good immune system. I'm not living with the miseducation and the tyrannical leader that we have. The homelessness is out of control. You know that.
I know.
You should see Venice Beach. It's like you get scared. I live in Hollywood. I'm like, okay,
everybody's confused. No one knows what to do. There's no guidance. There's no, hey, do this, do that. There's nothing. Just
Oh my gosh.
everybody's paranoid and afraid, and nobody knows how to make their immune system strong. Your immune system can fight off anything. It's amazing. Your immune system can fight off like dengue fever and meningitis, ton of stuff, if you're healthy.
Right.
But nobody's healthy. And I'm not living like this crap.
Yeah.
I'm not living like this with the Brown People Matter group. I have to use other words because StreamYards is connected to YouTube. Everything's botted. Every social media, they have new Instagram, Facebook rules that they will take your channel away if you don't wear a muzzle on camera, all kind of weird draconian crap. So I'm moving to Texas, right?
Yeah.
And then, and I'm tired of paying these taxes. I'm over
I
it.
know. I know.
I'm gonna pay these taxes. I don't want my car to be broken every time there's a pothole. I'm sorry. No.
I know.
So I'm moving there. When I move there, I will be there where I have a horse. So I will be moving where my horse is. So like, I have to go in the day and take care of him because the place I'm at's not a full facility. So I will be able to, he'll be in my backyard. So I will go out, feed him, take care of him, go in and do a bunch of consultations. You will see in the month of February dates for consultation follow-ups and also for full consultations. It'll be open.
Okay.
So that's in February. So you can't do it now. Obviously, it took you a while to even book this.
Right. Right.
So then